Hey guys, how you doing? It's Eric from Fun Intelligent Training. Just wanted to take a couple minutes to go over something that is so simple, but a lot of people either don't understand what they're doing or maybe haven't even taken the time to think about it. And that is footwear when training. And there's a lot of different types of things that we do here, so there's different footwear that's appropriate for each thing. So first and foremost, you may notice if you have been in here that sometimes people will train barefoot. And that is actually ideal in many situations. Basically, your foot is moving much more naturally than it does in modern running shoes and in cross-training shoes. What happens is all of the cushioning and support changes what your normal stride has been through evolution. And that's actually not ideal. So you'll notice some people training barefoot. Barefoot training is good. The downfall is, number one, if your feet aren't acclimated to it, then your feet are going to get pretty beat up. Number two is a hygiene issue. So as I said, we don't do it too frequently. The gym is cleaned all the time, but you know, better safe than sorry. The next step up from being barefoot is shoes like the Vibram 5 Fingers. So these things are great. They allow your feet to move a lot more naturally. They offer very little support, very little cushioning, so you need to take some time to get acclimated to this. One of the things that you want to pay attention to is easing your way in to utilizing this type of footwear. If you're not used to it, you don't want to go out and go whole hog. You want to do short sessions in them to start, maybe just walk around a little bit. You don't want to start running right away. Like I said, get used to walking first and then do very short runs in them if you're going to do that. A lot of people are real big on the barefoot running these days. So start on softer surfaces, grass or sand, and let's go with, you know, give or take a quarter mile to start with, and then progressively increase your distance. Same with training in here. You may want to wear them for a warm-up and then change out to your normal shoes for the workout. Do that for a period of time to get acclimated to it, and then progressively start wearing them more. From there, actually the shoes that I'm wearing right now, I just got these recently. I absolutely love these. New Balance Minimus, they're called. So they're a step up from the Vibrams. There's still next to nothing to them. They're super light. They are super flexible. There's very minimal padding to them. I really like these. One of the other downfalls to the Vibrams, tough to wear them out and about. You look pretty silly, to be honest with you. So these look pretty much like regular shoes, and they still give you more of that free feeling. So if you haven't looked into these, I strongly recommend them. Same deal though, you don't want to immediately start doing very high activity levels with these things if you're not accustomed to wearing them. You want to ease your way into them. So similar deal to with the Vibrams. So those, for a lot of the conditioning stuff that we do, a lot of the boot camps that we do, strongly recommend you look into some of those options. Really good options. Now, from there, I'm going to show you a couple of other options. So these you may have seen around Nike Shox. Now, once again, look at right here, you're basically looking at the bottom of your heel, and look at all the distance here. So that is changing your gait. That is having all sorts of implications to how your body moves that isn't what your body was designed for. Secondarily, you are going to really transfer a lot of force and change the angle of your joints as you're utilizing these. If you're planning like this and you come in or out, that shoe is taking up a lot of it, whereas in an ideal world, we want your body to get accustomed to controlling that. So you're going to have to pay attention to that with this type of shoe. And then I don't have any here. We'll pop a picture up right now, but something we strongly discourage people from utilizing are the different shoes that claim to help you exercise even when you're doing nothing. You know, the Reebok has them out, the Skechers Shape-Ups. Those are bad news. You're going to be very unstable. They're not going to do anything to help you, and they're actually going to be detrimental in the type of training that we do here. So please do not wear those into the gym. If you have those, your prerogative if you want to wear them outside of here. just be aware they're really not going to help you. There's no clinical evidence to prove that they are helping you, and there's a lawsuit, actually, a very large class action lawsuit, because they were making those false claims. So please don't wear those into the gym. All right, so now, many of you have seen people, not as many in the Barbell Boot Camp, but definitely in Danny Boys. Almost all of the Danny Boys and Danny Girls are wearing weightlifting shoes. So why do we wear weightlifting shoes? If you look at this, you'll notice that the heel is pretty significant. So what I was discussing before was telling you that the heel is no good in most of the training that we do, so conditioning-wise, agility-wise. When you are doing power lifts, most of your power lifts, your squats especially, and your Olympic lifts, such as your clean and your snatches, this is going to really help to get yourself biomechanically positioned in a manner that's going to help your lift. So these are mine. These are pretty entry level. I think I picked them up for 85 bucks or so. So they're certainly not cheap, but it's a very small niche, so they are pretty costly. So for the amount of work that I do, these will last me for 6 months to a year probably. If you want to step up, these are Restos. The difference here, a little bit higher heel, and the material. This is much higher quality craftsmanship. These are actually wood soles, real leather, very good shoes. So if you're serious about your lifting, then I strongly recommend you look into this. Even people that we have that have a good natural squat, once we put them into lifting shoes, it's a tremendous difference. It totally changes the mechanics of how they move. So strongly recommend, if you're serious about your weight training, that you look into those. And then last but not least, with the deadlift, we actually discourage people from wearing any type of footwear in the deadlift. What we mean by that is you want to be as close to the ground as possible, because that's going to decrease the distance that that bar needs to travel for you to fully lock out. So we want the least possible padding in between your foot and the ground. And then secondarily, the cushioning that modern footwear provides, as I briefly mentioned before, you can get some squish going on either side of those shoes, and it's going to change the mechanics of how you're moving. So that's no good. We want to be a very solid surface. We don't want the shoe to do any of the giving. We want our body to control that. So we will sometimes have people deadlift in socks. We will sometimes have people utilize the two that I showed earlier. Vibrams work pretty well, and the minimal type of shoes work well. And then old school, Chuck Taylors. Really no cushioning, a pretty flat sole, and they're inexpensive. So that's another good option. You will see some guys and girls wear Chuck Taylors. So that was just a very quick overview to give you guys an idea as to why we do or do not recommend different types of footwear for different types of activities. This isn't all-inclusive. If you have any other questions, feel free to let us know. And remember, Fit members get 20% off at Joe King Shoes. So that's a great deal. Go down and touch base with them, and they can help to fit you. They're a knowledgeable crew. So thanks, guys. Let me know what other questions you have. And remember, train like your life depends on it.